how this is coming out. My skin, baby, there's no filter on this camera. This is my skin.
Is delicious, purely delicious. Like, wow.
Alright, you guys, so welcome back to my channel. Okay, for today's video, I want to go ahead and recreate the UK babes makeup look. Because why is it that they're slaying so hard? Like, they slay so disrespectfully. It's like, whoa, but I am so here for it. Like, they always look good. They're so pretty, they're gorgeous. I'm just obsessed, and I'm obsessed with just London in general. Like, I have to go this year. Like, I love everything about them, especially their men. Okay, the men in London, try. So with that being said, I want to go ahead and recreate Uche's makeup look. I'm sure you guys know her on, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, all of that. And I will also put a small video of her video as I'm doing the makeup look alongside her. So super excited. This face came out so stunning, you guys. So stunning. All right, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts, of course. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and let's just see how I got this look, y'all, because I am just gassed right now. Like, I don't have anywhere to be, but I need to go find somewhere to be. Okay. Y'all, I am so excited. I don't think y'all understand. Okay, like, my obsession with anything London, all right, it's been crazy. But the makeup with the girls, I feel like I need to try their makeup out and just see what it looks like on my face. Right now, I feel like I look 12. Like, I look 12. I want to look like the girls, okay, the baddies, all of them. So the most notorious one that I love, that I follow literally on all platforms, is Uche. You guys probably know Uche, but her makeup, her foundation, her techniques are flawless, and I just want to go ahead and recreate it on my face. And she did have a super detailed foundation routine on YouTube, so I'm just going to follow that, literally line by line, and just see what it looks like on the face. So with that being said, let's get into it. I'm gonna put like a little screen of her video right here, and we'll just follow along. Okay,
next we're gonna go in with primer. You guys know Fenty Beauty Soft Matte Primer.
So she's actually using the Fenty Beauty Soft Matte Primer. I don't have that, you guys. I actually do want to pick it up, to be honest with you, because I've been looking for a new primer to add to my routine, and just the way her face looks, I mean, I should go ahead and get it, right? But what we're gonna do is, I already primed my face. I used the Dr. Brandt Pore Refiner Primer. You guys know this was so popular back in the day. And then I also used the St. Jane Luxury Sun Ritual. So this one was a little bit too matte for my face. I don't love it, but I have a lot of products, so I want to go ahead and use it. And then I use my sunscreen, of course. So I already have the face primed and ready to go. So we'll move on to like the foundation part of it.
If you follow me on TikTok, you'd have seen this product endless amount of times, okay? I've been so obsessed with this. This is the Yummy Skin Blurring Balm. Yeah, Yummy Skin Blurring Balm.
You guys know I used to use that all the time, and I still love it. Okay, I still love it. The only reason why I haven't repurchased it yet is because I run out of it so fast, and it's not cheap, y'all. It is not cheap, and I keep running out of it fast. So I'm just sure like that whole primer combination is fire. I mean, look at her skin. So yeah, let's just see what else she says.
But let me show you guys. So with this, I just work my brush into it, and then I do one little vibe here, one little vibe here. Been loving the way this looks with my House Labs. This is the House Labs Tri-Clone Skin Tech Foundation in the shade 460 Medium Deep Warm. Love this. When it comes to foundation, I love using dense brushes.
So I have the Morphe x Jaclyn Hill JH12 brush. This is a dense brush, and if you guys don't know anything about me, okay, I do not use like brushes for my foundation or concealer. I always use a sponge. So this is so different for me, y'all. Like, literally, it's gonna be hard for me not to use my sponge, but we're gonna stick with the brushes like she said, and this one is pretty dense. Like, it's a dense brush.
So my methodology when it comes to foundation is, so I've got a bit of hair there, it's just a stippling motion, this beautiful stippling motion where you just kind of pat the product where it is, where it's laid down. So whether you...
So she's basically just patting the foundation onto her skin. We're going to use a Dior Backstage Face and Body Foundation in the shade 5N. It's been a minute since I've used this on my channel, but I love this foundation, y'all. It is my absolute favorite. And we're just gonna do what she says. So just take this and pat it on the skin like so. And this is so different for me, y'all. Like literally, it is so different. I'm not used to brushes, but it looks good so far. I'm just always afraid that it will be streaky on the skin. I don't know. She may go in with a sponge after to smooth everything out, but for now I'm just gonna pat it all over the face. And it actually looks really good with this brush. Like, it doesn't look streaky at all, y'all. It looks really, really good. Okay, let me find out I've been out the loop. Okay, but let's play and see what else she says.
Pick it up from your sponge, or you apply it to your skin, however you want to apply it. Just dab, like small dabbing motions. I'm not a big swiper. I just kind of dab and then I use the rest on my forehead. Don't really use too much product on my forehead at this stage because I know I'm going to do a heavy contour, which typically I put a lot on my forehead, and also a light highlighting, which also goes on my forehead.
And like she said, I'm just gonna do a little bit on my forehead. I know a lot of people don't like applying foundation on the forehead just because you're gonna cover it with bronzer and all of that already, but I still do it just because, I don't know, I always feel naked up there if I don't do it. So just a little bit is fine. I feel like my foundation right now looks really light in terms of like the coverage. It doesn't look like I'm wearing foundation, so I'm really impressed because I always thought that brushes just looked cakey on the skin. That's what I always thought, y'all, but you live and you learn. So this is what the foundation looks like on the skin. Let's go ahead and move on to the next step.
Oh, delicious. Delicious, delicious, delicious. Absolutely gorgeous. It really is. Yummy, yummy skin. I tend to avoid using sponges, like I said, to blend out that foundation just because dense keeps the product exactly where I need it. Now for concealer, I'm just applying a little bit of this shade just because the one I'm going to use after is a tiny bit too light, I feel like, on its own. So I use a tiny bit of this. These are the Pat McGrath concealers. They are the Skin Fetish Sublime. Been really, really loving this. The first one I just used then was M19, and I'm about to go in with LM16.
So she didn't lie about the Pat McGrath concealer. It is my absolute favorite. Like, y'all know I swear by this on my channel. But she's gonna go ahead and use a lighter shade of Pat McGrath, but I don't have a lighter shade of that. But I do have my El Maquillage F&M Flawless Concealer in the shade 14.5.
Third color, I do think the first shade I used is a little on the orange side, but as you can see, like I said, that one is just a bit too light to be used on its own. But I've been super into this concealer, like really, really into it. And someone asked me how long I leave that to vibe. The time it takes me to blend out my contour is how long I leave that to vibe and chill and kind of mellow. So I do my contour there, there, forehead, and on the other side as well.
So I'm gonna use my Hourglass Vanish Espresso contour stick, and we're just gonna do it how she just did that on the side right here, and then on the forehead. This one looks more like a contour on me, to be honest. So, and then down here. Ooh, I've never done it down here, y'all, so this is different. This is so different. I think she actually connected it a little bit. Okay. Okay. Why am I getting scared now? Okay.
I like to apply like this and then blend out. Some people like to blend straight from the brush, but I like to put my placements down so I know where everything is. So if I'm not looking at you guys as much, because obviously I'm looking at me, just so I know where everything is going. Right. That is my placement for that. NARS Laguna Cream Bronzer in Laguna 04.
Y'all, you know what I noticed? She didn't mention which bronzer she was using till later. And I actually do have the NARS one. It's right here. And I use the Hourglass one. It's okay. But let's go ahead and blend it out like she is right now, and just
like to blend
get it into the skin.
Brush, but I like to put my placements down so I know where everything is. So if I'm not looking at you guys as much, because obviously I'm looking at me, just so I know where everything is going. Right, that is my placement for that. And these are my placements. It's kind of airy here along my forehead, this semicircle vibe, and then connect it down to the chin and the jaw. The chin, yeah, the chin, and that's the general kind of placement for this, where your face naturally shadows.
So I'm just gonna blend this, like she stated, into the skin, like so. I really wish I used the NARS one, just because that's more of like a bronzer on me, but we gonna make it work. We are going to make it work. Literally just patting it into the skin till it's melted in. And I think moving forward, I'm gonna start using a brush to actually blend in my bronzer, just because when I use a sponge, I feel like it kind of disappears a little bit. So yeah, this looks like, yeah, your girl's wearing bronzer for sure, for sure. So let's go ahead and play the next step.
A little bit more plumpish. And then on my under eye, I'm just blending it out using this Real Techniques 402 brush. I actually prefer this, the way this applies. This blends product out when it's dirty as opposed to when it's clean.
So out of all the steps, the under eye is where I get super nervous, just because I typically use a sponge for my under eye. So this is gonna be very different, you guys. So I'm just gonna use my Real Techniques brush. I'm not sure which one this one is exactly, but it was close enough. This is as close as we're gonna get. Okay, so let's go ahead and play this.
And again, it's very stipply. I tend to, this bit I swipe to create the shape, but generally I will do stippling motions. As I always say, I like my product to be where I put it. Why would I put it down only to like swipe it all around? I just like nice controlled movements.
I actually forgot to blend out the contours on the nose and stuff, so we're gonna go ahead and do that first. And I actually prefer the contour on the nose like this. Like, it looks more prominent with the brush. I usually just use powder, y'all, but this is given. Okay, so now let's go ahead and blend the under eye out like so.
And again with this, you just want to hit the places where the light naturally hits your face. That's how I decide where I want to highlight. Obviously this is a lot of product, but because I put on a certain amount of foundation, everything after that kind of has to follow a similar kind of vibe, if you get what I mean. If I used less foundation, I would use less of everything. But if I did a really heavy foundation, I tend to do, you know, a relatively heavy highlight and contour, and I always do a heavy contour, so just for balance.
Y'all, I feel like the UK girl in me is coming out, okay? Because like she said, it is a lot of product. This is a lot more than I typically use in my routine. But you can just see like how much more structured my face looks compared to normal. I feel like my normal everyday makeup is super just like lightweight, you know, all of that. This is like a makeup beat, honey. All right. Now for the concealer, I will say I'm probably gonna go in and just add a little bit more, because I feel like it dried up underneath my eyes, but it's blending a lot better than I suspected. Like a lot better than I suspected. So I'm really shocked. So I actually see her using a sponge now to blend everything in. So yeah, your girl's gonna go in with a sponge, because I feel like a sponge just makes it melt a little bit more.
Of that onto the eyelid just to continue the brightness. Run that onto the chin, and then I stitch over, use the bottom to blend up that forehead so it's not so, you know, highlight contourish. It's more seamless. And then I just bounce back between my bronzer. At this point, you can also take the brush that you used to apply foundation, just to really make sure that there is a nice seamless transition between your under eye concealer and your bronzer contour. And I also use this to sharpen up under my for my jaw, sharpen up that contour. I'm going to take a tiny bit of this BFF Pink Honey Face Bronzer.
So this is what the face is looking like so far. So let's keep watching.
Shafts on the same brush that I applied. And just really, I just want to add a bit more to my, just really add some more intensity to the bronzer because I love the way that.
Okay, so she's using something completely different, which I don't have, but I'm actually gonna go in with my NARS Laguna bronzer and use the same brush that I used earlier just to like tap it and make it sharper, because I will say I was losing the bronzer a little bit, but kind of adding this back, you can kind of see it. Ooh, dragging it a little bit too close to the concealer, but you can kind of make it pop a little bit more just by doing what she just said. So boom, boom, boom. Okay, and then some on the forehead as well. Yeah, this is making it pop a lot more. Okay, the NARS one never fails me. It just looks so good. Just patting like she says, but y'all can just see how it looks on the skin. Adding the NARS one, it looks so good. Wow, wow. Yeah.
And then we're going to do the first round of setting. Now, when it comes to longevity, priming and setting are going to be your key. So at this point, I'm going to take my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless and just a couple spritz of this on the face. Now, I don't know that this necessarily adds anything to the longevity, but it's something I always do. So I think it's just one of those steps that contributes to your longevity. When I say it was like the soul thing, probably not, but it definitely contributes, okay? So that's what the face is looking like right now. I definitely get way more into setting than the creams. That's a lie. I love it all. I love all of it. And this is something that I've been doing recently. I take my airbrush finish from Charlotte Tilbury. I'm trying to show you guys. This is what it looks like. And it's number 3. And I take this on my number 98 brush from Sephora. I really love the Sephora brushes. They are such high quality brushes. I have a few in my routine.
So I do have the Charlotte powder. Let me go ahead and grab that really quickly. So mine is actually really broken. I barely have any left, but we got little specks. We got little specks in here. So let's play it and just do what she does and just set the under eye.
Make this funny face. And I just set underneath there with number 3. I can't remember where I saw it. It was probably on TikTok. Someone said to set with a pressed powder first and then follow with the loose powder. So that's what I've been doing recently, and I haven't been hating it. So I use this in all of the areas that I highlighted. So around my mouth, chin, under eye, really make the stupidest face possible so you can get into those areas. And I'll also hit it underneath here. I hit this underneath part a few times, like so, and like so, and also just on top here, which actually doubles up as kind of a lighter eyeshadow kind of vibe, and my forehead. So we're partially set. That looks so pretty. My loose powder, which is the, I was about to say the Buddha Beauty, but it's not the Buddha Beauty. It's the Huda Beauty Easy Bake in Banana Bread.
And I'm just kind of taking the Charlotte powder like she did and just like fanning it out like so. Just fan it out a little bit. But this looks really good, you guys. Like, I'm like loving how this is coming out. My skin, baby, there's no filter on this camera. This is my skin. Wow. So she did go ahead and mention the Huda Beauty Banana Bread powder, which I do have in the shade Banana Bread. So I'm going to take some of this. Ooh, okay. I'm actually using my e.l.f. I can't remember what this is called, but this is the e.l.f. brush. This is their blush brush, actually. But let's see what she does.
Sponge. you need to make sure like all the excess is actually off it, because the other day when I did my makeup, yesterday, so I used the shade, as I said, Banana Bread. This just adds a nice brightness and flawlessness to that under eye. Look at that. Oh, gorgeous. These spaces are so necessary to get into the crux of where you need to get into. Oh, me.
Okay.
And I also like to take that onto my cheek because I hate when that area is too dewy. I just love matte finishes. Take that onto my chin as well. Do you see what I mean when you don't dust off on it? Okay. And on the forehead.
So she's just really going in with the powder. Like really going in. Usually I do like a light layer, but want to like really put a good amount of powder onto the portions that you highlighted and really press it into the skin. Set the other side like so. I already feel like I have to go to Sephora and get a re-up of the Charlotte powder, just because when I tell y'all my under eyes looks disrespectfully good. Like, it has no business looking this good. It's crazy. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna get that powder, the Fenty primer, all of that, okay? Look at my skin right now. Just looks so good.
I might have to give those Duvolle sponges another chance. Delicious. Purely delicious, like wow. NARS powder bronzer. Still Laguna, but this time in 06. Yes, sir. And another Sephora brush. I told you, I really love these brushes. This is 93, so this angled brush. Really go in there and like get busy with the brush and the product. Tap off any excess. This powder bronzer is really good because it's very buildable. As you can see, it's not too offensive. You really have to build. I mean, that's a good and a bad thing. You really have to build it to the intensity you want. It's good because if you're a beginner, if you're heavy-handed like me.
So I'm actually gonna use the Charlotte bronzer. I don't have the NARS one. The Charlotte one's been looking a little bit light lately. Like, she hasn't been giving me the bronzer that I need, but we're just gonna pack it on and just pack it on, okay?
Build it up to the intensity that you want it to be. I also like to run it here on like the outside and also just set that forehead down as well. So this is more just to set the bronzer or the contour, and then I'm going to go in with a slightly deeper shade just to really bring out those structures. So this is more like a step one. Just do these little wolfy vibe, but with powder, and you just want to blend that into the top of your brows. Just so it all connects. And then I like to put a little bit here as well, just so it connects to where I've been doing my creams. Also a little bit on the tip of my nose and my upper lip. You shouldn't look too crazy because it's buildable, but it's just subtle things that enhance the face. Tiny pencil brush. This is Poppy Pink from Mario on this A22, also L'Oreal and Morphe collab. Smile, hit those apples and run it up to here. It's like a semicircle kind of vibe.
So she's actually using a pink powder blush, I believe, from Makeup by Mario. So I'm going to use a Giorgio Armani pink blush. This is their powder blush in the shade 19. I'm just going to use a slip-on brush and just run it across.
Just really get that sweeping motion down. This is the only time I really sweep. You can also pat, but the sweep just allows you to really blend between the different layers. Oh, that is delish. And then anything left over, I run it on my nose and also this top part, just to make sure there's synergy between the whole face. Delicious. Oh, Like, I am truly gagged. Take that little brush again. This little brush is coming like a big hero, okay? So we're going back in with that 98. It's the one we used to set under our eyes first time. And we are taking this, it's like a powder foundation from MAC. It's the Studio Fix Powder Plus Foundation. Gorgeous. What I love doing with this is just down here to really sharpen.
Oh.
And I'm intentionally doing this before I do my final contour.
So she's sharpening underneath her cheeks. I feel like mine are already sharp, but I'll do it again just to be on the safe side. So I don't have that brush exactly. I'm just gonna take the fluffy e.l.f. one I've been using and just run it like so. Like, y'all see that? Yeah. Perfect. I'm gonna do the other side and just, yeah, I really like how that looks.
That's what we're looking like. I just took my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush bronzer in Deep 4.
Yeah, well, I have Deep 3, y'all.
My 96 brush from Sephora, and you literally just want to blend that out, but also blend out, so you still get the, the way the light hits, and you've still got the cut from the bronzer, but it's also blended in very nicely. Do my double set. So take first this, not too much of this actually, because we just did. This is the money maker, the shit shaker, the thing that gets things moving. It's only a new addition that I've been using, but it's reminded me of.
So she's actually using the One Size setting spray. I used to use that, you guys. I don't have it anymore because it ran out. So yeah, but the Charlotte one by itself is still fine. I mean, y'all, is this my skin? Stop. So pretty much after the setting spray, she goes in to do her eyes, add her beauty marks, and do the lips. I want to do the lips together actually because I want to do the same combo that she did. But y'all, she didn't use like an actual face powder. I noticed that, and my skin still looks really good. Like, I always use my Makeup Forever powder, but yeah, my skin looks really good, and I don't have this. And then also she didn't use highlighter, so I watched it back. I didn't see her use highlighter, which is so crazy to me. Okay, the UK girlies, they know what they're doing, so I'm just copy them. All right, so we're gonna do our lips. I'm gonna actually use my, let me find it. So for the lips, she kind of did like that classic nude lips. I'm gonna use my Beauty by CHICHI Allure lip liner just to line my lips. So after I line my lips, I'm gonna use the Juvia's Place Self Love liquid lipstick and just put that in the middle like so. And just mesh your lips. And then on top of it, I'm going to use the Pat McGrath Labs Flesh Fantasy Lust Gloss and just put this right on top. And this like tones everything down. I love this so much.
I would do after everything is said and done and said, take a little bit of number 2, still from Airbrush range from Charlotte Tilbury, on this P. Louise brush, and I just dab just the tiniest little bit, and this just really brightens everything up like so. I don't know if you can tell the difference, but to me it's like non-negotiable. This is a must-do step for me, just to really kind of gives you that baby doll look. Just make sure you're blending it down, otherwise it looks a bit gaspy. See the way that should just take my blush brush and just make sure that is nice and blended. Yes. No, how dare you, that just took it to the next level. That just took me from cute to baby doll. And yes, now Now we are finished.
But this is the look, you guys. I am so gassed right now. Like, my makeup always like looks good, but this is like you know when you like see yourself, you're like, wait, is that me? Like, crazy. This is what it looks like, y'all. Seriously, it literally looks so flawless. And I just love the lip combo with the eyes and just like the face. It's so natural, but it's still like put together. So I'm obsessed. I think when I start going out, I'm gonna start doing this. Like, it is a lot of steps, but the finished look is so worth it. And like, I don't know, I'm obsessed right now, completely obsessed. So yeah, this went really well. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I had so much fun doing this. And my UK babes, if you're from the UK, let me know down below, say hey. But I hope you guys enjoyed this look, and shout out to Uche because this is fire. All right, before you do leave, of course, make sure you go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in my next one.